This might take a while. Ugh, I don't care. Holy shit, I don't care. Well, how far did I get into that? Takes a pet like no problem. Bitch, logically. Well, hello, welcome back to my channel. Just Shauna here to talk about some friggin' books I DNF'd this year. There's a lot. Also, I am once again wearing my new favorite sweater, my Bodega Cats. Takes a pet like no problem. I can't do a New York accent, I'm so sorry. So sorry to oh Jesus, I just hit the camera. Did I fuck it up? Let me see. No, I think it's fine. Okay, I need to get my shit set though. Jesus Christ, Shoshana, I am not prepared. Record my screen. Yeah, I'm doing a tier ranking of this. This is how we're talking about them. There's so many. This might take a while. Ugh. Yeah, I DNF'd 26 books, and I am recording this on December 17th, but I do not plan on picking up any new books I haven't read before for the remainder of the year, which is like a week and a half. Whatever. I'm probably just gonna reread some like Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, or not Nick and Nora, Jesus Christ, the other one by them, fucking Dash and Lily. Dash and Lily's Book of Dares. I'm probably gonna reread that, and I might read another Lady Hardcastle mystery, but I'm not gonna DNF that, so that's why we're doing this now. Okay, so my tiers here, because obviously I didn't rate any of these. They were all DNFs. For various reasons at various points. But at the top, I don't know if I'll have anything in here. There's one I'm thinking of right now that could be. This is soft DNF, one that I could see myself picking up again in the future. Y'all know this hardly ever happens for me, but there's at least one this year that I'm maybe. And then below that it was just mood or timing. Maybe a book where I'm not real sure why I wasn't vibing with it. It might have just been the mood or the timing, and a book that I would probably recommend to people, or I can see why people love it. It just wasn't for me at the time, at least. In the middle is I could have pushed through. I could have. I wasn't hating anything at all. I just kind of didn't care. I anticipate this is going to have the most, because that's generally why I DNF. A book is just, I just kind of don't care. And then below that is this was a bit of a struggle. It was a bit of a struggle. No, surprised I got as far as I did. And then at the bottom is just absolutely fucking not. No, what the fuck? No. Ones where I could rant about them, and perhaps have. So let's go. All right. Oh God, the first one is The Blood Trial by N.E. Davenport. I got 14% into this, I do believe. 16%. I got 16% into this. And I really did not like the main character's voice. Oh my God, I didn't love the writing either. I felt it was a bit juvenile for a book that was marketed being adult, and had adult themes and things happening, I guess, later in the book. I hear that it gets there's graphic scenes of violence, and I think sexual violence, and that they're intense. And yeah, the writing, it was, the dialogue, oh man. Definitely not a could have pushed through, because I don't think I could have. I wanted to DNF at 4%, but I was no, I gotta give it a little bit more. And I got to 16%, and I was just no. But I'm is it an absolutely not? Yeah, because literally on page 2 or 3 or some shit, I found a thing that made me be no. Oh God, I don't know. I'm gonna put in a bit of a struggle, because I'm sure there's stuff later that I might have enjoyed, or character growth that maybe would have made me feel better about the character, but God, it was a struggle being in her brain. Death's Dancer by Jasmine Silvera. Yeah, this one I got a little bit into. Yeah, I got 23% of the way into this one. I really liked the premise. Yeah, the premise was really cool. The characters were fine, but something about the writing, it wasn't vibing with me at all. So yeah, I'm gonna put this in could have pushed through. It wasn't just mood or timing. There was stuff that I wasn't loving, but I wasn't hating it either. Desperate Measures by Katie Robert. I got pretty far into this one. Yeah, I got 65%. I definitely could have pushed through. But I just didn't care anymore. I was so over the, like, I'm all for like a daddy kink in, you know, this like erotica, you know, romance leaning heavy on the smutty scenes, the spicy scenes. I'm all for that, like not mad about that at all. But him calling her baby girl all the time, like outside of sex, in like weird, cringy, like it just was cringy and like kind of dumb. I just was like, stop, shut up. Oh my God. Like, what do you want to do, baby? It just reminded me of that fucking, I've never seen the movie, but I've watched a bunch of people like do commentary on YouTube of the fucking, the 365 days or whatever the shit. That like Italian weirdness, the kidnapping one, but like, good God, him be like, baby girl, you want some coffee, baby girl? Like, shut up, fuck. And that's how I was feeling in Desperate Measures. Fevered Star. Well, how far did I get into that? Yeah, 5%. So yeah, it was kind of a bit of a struggle. Was it an absolutely not? I just didn't fucking give a shit at all. Like 0%. I'll put it there. Yeah, I'll put it there. Ooh, For the Wolf. I think this was just mood timing. I got a decent way into that. This is probably so stupid I keep looking down. I'm sorry, but yeah, I got 34% into this one, and the writing style was cool. It was like atmospheric and everything. But the pacing was really fucking slow. Oh, also, it had like a trope that I do not like. My God, of like character with very powerful, dangerous magic. And it's very obvious, and they're being told point blank, you must learn to control this. Otherwise, it could be even more dangerous. And they don't want to practice it, and they don't want to learn to control it because that would require them practicing, and they're so scared. Bitch, logically, but it could be, they're like, but it's so dangerous. I don't even want to touch it. But it's more dangerous if you don't fucking practice. So just fucking practice. But like, I can't, I'm so scared. Shut up. Oh my God. So I could have probably pushed through that one, but also it was just kind of like the mood, I think. I don't know. Was it? It kind of was down below here, actually. Yeah. We're going to put it down here. I'll have to put it below Desperate Measures because I got further into Desperate Measures. Like, I could have pushed through Desperate Measures even easier. Yeah, well, I guess we'll put it there. Wow, surprise. Guild, I think, was a bit of a struggle. I got further into this one. How far did I get? Yeah, I got 15% into Guild, but I just didn't care, and it felt kind of meandering and, like, a little silly. So it was a little bit of a struggle, though. The writing and, like, I don't know. It was a little much. Half a Lion, I think, was just, like, mood timing. I mean, I don't think it was the book for me. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think it was for me. It was a bit too military fantasy for me. Just wasn't for me. I wanted it to be a lot. I got a decent way into it. Yeah, 34%, but nah. Her Majesty's Royal Coven, I got 31% of the way into it, and I think kind of a similar thing with Half a Lion. Like, this one I could have pushed through, but it was kind of like, eh. But I think it was more just, like, the timing of it all. Like, I was reading through it pretty quickly. It just, the messaging of it just started getting a little bit, like, too on the nose and, like, hitting me over the head with it. It was, like, messaging that I agreed with, but I just hated the, like, it was a little cringy how it was being expressed. So I'm gonna put that here too. This category, I guess, is kind of like not the book for me. Kaikai by Vaishnavi Patel. This is the one that I'm like, maybe a soft DNF. I had the physical copy, but I picked up the audiobook because I was not getting into it in the physical form. And then the audiobook is this narrator that, like, bless her soul, she is very busy. She narrates, like, everything. She also narrated this one that I still have sitting right here, Empire of Sand, and I listened to about 10 to 20% of this on audio. The thing I don't like about her voice wasn't quite as egregious in this as it was in Kaikai. This, like, morose, I don't even know. What's a sentence I can say? I don't even know. What's a sentence I can say? That, like, tone in every fucking sentence almost. I was like, oh my God, why are we so forlorn sounding. I can't. It's like when I'm reading a book physically, I have like a voice in my head, and that is just not the vibe that I was getting when I was reading it physically, but I just wasn't getting into it either. So it's like, I don't know if it was truly just the narrator. I might get it from the library at some point and try it again. This next one, Kushiel's Avatar, the third book in Phaedra's trilogy by Jacqueline Carey. Loved the first book. Enjoyed the second book. Had some issues, but mostly enjoyed it. I read 73% of this book. I count this series as a series I completed. Like, I obviously could have pushed through, but man, towards the end, it was becoming a struggle a bit. So I'm gonna put it in a bit of a struggle. It was just getting tedious. My God. Ladies of the Secret Circus, this one I think I got about 60-some%. Yeah, 61%. So I very easily could have pushed through this. I wasn't even hating anything about it at all. I wasn't wowed by the writing. I wasn't really wowed by the story or gripped by the story. And the characters were also just kind of there, so I quit. Lions of Fifth Avenue by Fiona Davis. Yeah, I DNF'd at 36%, but then the rest of it, I skim read, like heavily skimmed, because I was curious about how this like mystery thing played out. The like, ooh, what do we not know? And I was curious about how that played out. Glad that I DNF'd it because it was not satisfying in the slightest. Was this a bit of a struggle? I mean, I like could have pushed through, but it was kind of a struggle too. I don't know. God, where do I want to put it? There were just elements that just were like, ugh. Yeah, I'll put it in a bit of a struggle. Mary Jane by Jessica Anya Blau. This one, like I could have pushed through. I DNF'd it at 31%. I didn't hate the overall premise. I wasn't even hating most of the writing. There was a couple times where it got very repetitive. The girls were cleaning out a fucking refrigerator, and apparently we needed to categorize and list out every single motherfucking item they took out of the refrigerator and what they did with it. Did not care. Jesus Christ, like, why? Why? And then they went into the other room and they were cleaning the dining room, and again we had to list out every single fucking thing that they picked up and what they did with it, and if they threw it away or they put it somewhere else. I don't care. Holy shit, I don't care. So this one I feel like is like I could have pushed through, but I just was kind of like whatever, but I would put it probably right here. Yeah. The Plight Before Christmas by Kate Stewart. I got 14% into this. I just got done ranting about it, recording my recent reads video. Yeah, I got 13% in, and I'll link down below to my story graph like explanation with all my notes of like the things I fucking hated about this. This is definitely an absolutely not. Abso-fucking-lutely not. Jesus. Oh, God. I wanted to DNF it like at 3%. Maybe even sooner. Almost immediately, I was just like, bitch, no. The main character, just no. Queen Takes Rook. I did not get very far into this. I read the first 3 books in the series and had a decent enough time with them. But this one, 4% in, I just did not give a shit. I could have pushed through because they're super quick reads, but and I just, no. Siren Queen by Nevo. Oh, this was such a bummer. This was like my most anticipated release this year. And I DNF'd it, where? 41%, yeah. This was just way too, like, magical realism, fabulism, very, like, just very heady, all vibes. What is even really going on here? I don't fucking know. Not for me. Very much not the book for me. But for me personally, I feel like I can't put it up here in the kind of, like, just not for me, not the time, because it was a bit of a struggle for me personally. I gotta put it down here. This is one though that like I would recommend to people. It was just hardcore, not a Joshana book. The Christmas Sisters by Sarah Morgan. Like, I just didn't care. I don't know. I got, how far into that one did I? It was very recent. Very recent. Why can't I talk? 15%. I think this one, had I gotten further into it, would have been a bit of a struggle though. The characters, they were just kind of like stereotypical archetypes that were kind of fucking annoying. So I'll put them down here, and it was a bit of a struggle. Ian McEwan, The Innocent. I, thus far, have pretty much loved every Ian McEwan I've picked up, except this one. I got 35% of the way into it, and I was kind of bored, but then there was a scene where the main character was, like, rapey. In his head, he thought he was doing, like, a kind of a consensual non-consent role play kind of thing, but never had this conversation with the woman he had been sleeping with. Like, they had never had a conversation about, like, ooh, this would be kind of fun to do, or like, hey, do you want to kind of like do that? Like, he just got it in his head, like, I bet she would like that, so let me do it. She has no idea, so she's like, this man is attacking me, and I'm telling him no, and he's not listening to me. So she got scared, and like, just kind of, she was crying. Like, it was a lot. And he's like in his head being like, why isn't she playing along? Doesn't she understand? But like, all it just in his head, not communicating this in like just a childlike mind, but he was a fully grown ass man, and he was a fucking idiot. He's a fucking idiot that I no longer cared. So I gotta put this one in absolutely not. Like, I got to that scene. Up until then, I was just kind of like, I'm just kind of bored. I just kind of don't care. And then that happened. I was like, nope. I am noping the fuck out of here. Jesus. The Laughing Corpse by Laurel K. Hamilton. This is like book 1 or 2. I got 23% of the way into it. Yeah, book 2 of the Anita Blake series. The writing style just wasn't for me. Yeah, just not for me. I could have pushed through though. Like, the first one was like a quick enough read. I wasn't hating it. It was just the descriptions and stuff. It was a bit too abrupt. Her writing style was just like a bit too abrupt and just clunky almost feeling for me. So I'm going to put it down here in the could have pushed through, but I just was like, no. The Merciless Ones by Namina Forna. Yeah, this one I could have pushed through, but also I just wasn't getting grabbed by it. It's book 2, and like, I really enjoyed the first book, but this one, for some reason, I was like losing the plot. I felt like the book was losing the plot a bit, but like, yeah, was it a bit of a struggle? But not for any, like, I wasn't annoyed with anything. I just was like, I really don't care. Torn by Rowena Miller. This premise was I was so intrigued. And the first like little bit of the book, this is really cool. And like, it's a 4-book series, I think, that's completed, I think. I was like getting excited, like, oh man, this might be like, ooh, a new like fun favorite one or something. And I got 40% of the way in, and nothing really had happened. It seemed like stuff was about to start ramping up, but I was hundreds and hundreds of pages into this fucking book. I was almost halfway through, and like literally nothing had happened. Like, at all. We were just kind of walking around, talking to the same kind of people, and then the like villain got introduced and was just a little too mustache twirling, like, ha ha ha, for me. And I was just like, I could have pushed through though. I'll put it like right here, kind of in the middle of could have pushed through. Yeah, I wasn't like super pissed about anything, but yeah. Oh yeah, this one, The Traitor Queen, by, what's her name, Danielle L. Jensen. I technically like marked it as DNF'd at 60%, but then I did listen to the audio for the rest of it. Just very sped up. Like, that's why I'm not counting it as finished, because I was like, it was sped up, but I mostly just like wasn't paying attention. I just kind of stopped paying attention after 60%, so that's why I marked it as DNF'd. It just wasn't for me though. Like, I really liked the first book. I mean, I give it like 5 stars or anything, but I liked it. I was like, okay, cool. And then this one just, I don't know. I just could not pay attention. I just wasn't invested enough in the story. Transcendent Kingdom by Ya Gyasi. This was the first book I DNF'd this year. This is definitely one I would recommend to people. I can understand why people enjoy it. If you like literary fiction, I mean, I can see people loving this. It's very well loved, and I understand why. But for me personally, it felt a bit too meandering. Just someone's meandering thoughts, philosophizing about life. XYZ is an allegory for this other thing, and here's why, and I'm going to ponder about it endlessly. It just doesn't work for me. It's not my thing. Trouble of the Saints by Elia Dawn Johnson. Same thing. This one was very much just not the time for me. I got 27% of the way into it. I really liked the characters. There was magic that I thought was really cool. The setting was cool. The time period, it's like a historical with like fantasy elements. The plot was interesting enough, but I just wasn't getting gripped by it, and I think the writing style just wasn't for me. It was a little bit too like angsty, vague, deep thoughts all the time, and just wasn't for me. Wildest Dreams by Kristen Ashley. Yeah, got 4% of the way into this. I wrote, sweet baby Jesus, no. Absolutely not. I don't know which one I did not like more of these two. Oh, whoops, yeah, that's the direction it should go then. Yeah, oh God. Immediately no. Like, immediately I was like, fuck this. And I was gonna try to push through to like 10%, and yeah, I got this far in and just simply could fucking not. Oh my God, the main character was so annoying. The writing wasn't good. If you just are going for like just some kind of fun romance thing, maybe this could be cool, and like you don't really care that much what the writing quality is or isn't, then maybe you'll love it. But oh shit, it was painful. It was painful. Over describing every person's outfit. I apparently needed at least 2 pages describing every goddamn thread and button. I don't care. And the main character looking in the mirror to be like, oh wow, like shut up. Shut up. But yeah, the next one, the last one. This one is another like romance one, paranormal romance. Wolf Gone Wild by Juliet Cross. Just was not for me. The writing style, I don't know, I thought the dialogue was a bit cringy and cheesy, but like for the genre and the type of book, like the tone of it, like I think it was on purpose and there's an audience for it. Not me. I'm gonna put it in like a could have pushed through. It wasn't really a struggle, like it was fine enough. I'll put it up here because it was also like a pretty quick read. I'll put it kind of in the middle. There we go. The 26 books. I guess I just saw, technically I did DNF 27, but this other one, Mademoiselle Chanel by C.W. Gortner, I read like a couple pages and decided no, so I didn't even put that one on my list. Like on my spreadsheet. I didn't even put that book on my spreadsheet. But yeah, here we go. There were a lot of DNFs this year, and like, I didn't read more books. You know what I mean? Like last year, I think I completed like 70 to 75-ish books. Like I read that many, but I DNF'd like 12 to 15, which is usually about my range. Like 10 to 15 books a year is usually my range of DNFs. This year, I don't know what happened. The percentage of DNFs compared to the amount that I read, because I read about 70 books so far. And like I said, I probably will only read maybe 1 more, 2 more maybe. Yeah, that's a lot. It was a lot. The percentage was high. Just a lot of this year, I don't know, there were just so many times where I was like, I just don't care. I don't give a shit. Bye. And I personally do not feel any kind of completionist needs. I don't care. If I'm not into it, I'm not into it. And I don't feel like I'm missing out. I read enough of them to tell that I probably wasn't going to end up loving them, you know? There we go. Like, comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined. Let me know how you feel about DNFing. Do you hate the idea of DNFing? Do you love it? Are you able to do it? Are you not able to, but you wish you could? Or are you not able to and you're fine with that? Let me know. As always, thank you so much for your time. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.